This is a mini series on thinning hair after 40, what's happening, and what can we do about it. If you've noticed your hair isn't as thick as it used to be, whether it's thinning at the crown, the temples, or it's just flatter, I started seeing it too, and I wanted to understand what was happening. So I did a deep dive into the topic of hair, how it changes with age, what we can actually do to protect our hair, things we can do, things we can avoid, and technology now available that promises hair regrowth. Stay tuned. Okay, so in this 4-part mini-series, here's what we're going to cover. In part 1, we're going to talk about why hair thins. We're going to talk about understanding the hair growth cycle and the hormonal shifts that impact that cycle. In part 2, we're going to talk about ingredients that work. In part 3, we're going to talk about nutrition and lifestyle tips for fuller, healthier hair. And in part 4 is going to be an at-home laser therapy using the iRestore Elite Laser Hair Growth System. And stick around because I'm going to unbox that with you so you can see exactly what comes in the box and how I'm going to fit that into my routine. I'll list the chapters down below so you can skip around and watch or rewatch whatever you want to see. And throughout the series, I'm going to issue challenges and I want to hear from you. There are just certain comments I'll ask you to put below if you want to participate. I would love to hear from you as well. Your input matters, and I think it's fun to read what other women are doing or issues they're facing and tips they might have to share as well. Let's begin. Part 1, why hair thins and what you can do about it. Thinning doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, but it does mean your scalp and hair need some tender loving care. So let's start by talking about the hair growth cycle. I had no idea the extent of the hair growth cycle. And so I want to start with sharing that with you as well. Just to give you a quick overview, it goes through 3 phases. You have the anagen phase, which is the growth phase. You have the catagen phase, which is the transition phase. And then you have the telogen phase, which is the resting phase. As we age, more follicles can enter the resting phase permanently. Hormonal shifts like reduced estrogen, stress, illness, or nutrient deficiencies can speed up that shedding or slow down the regrowth. Genetics and inflammation also play a role, so always do consult with your dermatologist if you're having a lot of hair shedding or you're noticing a change. These are things that I am exploring because I have already consulted with my dermatologist. You do want to make sure and get a professional medical evaluation if you're having hair loss, and that would be helpful. This is just kind of after you've done that, what I'm doing now at the age of 61. It is important to know what's happening at the hair follicle level. And why understanding your hair's natural rhythm is really the first step in restoring your hair health and shine. Your hair isn't just there. It's always cycling through these 3 phases. So going back just a little bit deeper, the anagen growth phase is when your hair is actively growing, and it can last anywhere from 2 to 7 years. Generally, 85 to 90% of your hair is in this anagen phase. The catagen, or the transition phase, is next. This is just a brief resting period, and it lasts about 10 days. The hair detaches from the blood supply and stops growing. Then you have the telogen phase, the resting phase. Now, this can last anywhere from 2 to 4 months, and during this phase, your hair is just basically hanging out, waiting to shed. And then the cycle starts over, or it doesn't. I have heard, and I looked it up for this video, the fact of how much hair you do shed is about 50 to 100 strands a day. I always find that hard to believe, but if it helps, that is the rule of thumb. So if you're noticing a lot more hair shedding than usual, take notice. One thing I have learned in doing kind of the research for myself and for the video is that the sooner you do something, the sooner you can get medical intervention if it's a medical issue, while the follicle is still receptive to treatment. And so many things are very reversible. If you're noticing extra shedding, if you're noticing quick recession, anything like that, if you've been ill, any of these concerns, take it to a dermatologist, get that diagnosis first, be sure they check for you, and then you can proceed as I am. You know, another time when all of this happens is during perimenopause and menopause. For me, It was in my mid-50s that I really started noticing it. It was right after COVID, and ever since then it has been a little more difficult. The other thing that happened, I noticed, was when I started trying to go longer lengths of time between hair washes. I heard that was good. It wasn't. My hair and my scalp weren't getting the attention that it needed. And we'll talk about that more in just a minute. Getting back to the hair growth cycle, as we age, more follicles enter that resting phase. So like I said, hormonal shifts like estrogen, stress, illness, or nutrient deficiencies, or a combination of them all, can speed up shedding or slow down hair regrowth. As we move through our 40s, 50s, and 60s and beyond, hormones shift, especially with estrogen and progesterone, and those two hormones help keep the hair regrowth cycle in balance. When they decline, testosterone becomes more dominant, and its byproduct, called DHT, starts to shrink those follicles. And for some of us, we're sensitive to that. And the result of that is fewer hairs in the growth phase, more hairs in the resting phase or shedding phase, and the new hairs grow back finer or not at all. This is why so many women, and I'm included in this group, notice hair thinning at the part and right around the hairline of my head. And it's not your imagination. It's the age and stage of life. It could be your biology. So how can we help support our hair growth and our scalp through these changes? One of the things I've learned is using hair care with the right pH levels can really help. The natural pH of your scalp is 4.5 to 5.5. Products at that pH level help maintain the hair's cuticle integrity. It reduces frizz, it prevents dryness, and it helps maintain healthy follicles. Keeps your hair clean, keeps your scalp balanced. Think of it like skincare for your head. Your scalp and hair's natural pH is something you have to consider when you're buying shampoo and conditioners too. Acidic products close to the hair cuticle enhance shine and reduce tangling. And that helps with hair brushing and hair fallout. Alkaline, which is the higher pH, can open the cuticle. It can lead to loss of moisture, dullness, dryness, and ultimately damage your hair if you continue using it. Based on those guidelines, let's talk about some shampoos and conditioners that might be good for you to try. So for the shampoo, we're going to aim for a 4.5 to 5.5. For a conditioner, we're going to aim for a pH of 3.5 to 5.5. And if you use a clarifying conditioner, it will have a higher pH, so you want to use them sparingly, maybe once a week, I would think. And those are kind of higher at a pH of 7 to 8. I don't know if any of you watch Abby Young. I'll put her picture up here. She has a channel, and I have watched her for many years. She started off just doing different types of videos, kind of like I did, and then she was kind of recognized for her hair and how beautiful it was and how well she was caring for it, and people would ask. She actually took that and became a certified trichologist and beauty influencer, and I really do enjoy watching her. She's someone I trust, and I like finding people who are very straightforward and enjoy doing a little deep dive into the research and the ingredients. And if you're on that hair regrowth, hair health journey, she's certainly one to follow. All right, so I guess I'll start with the detox shampoo because that's the one that you probably want to use very limited, maybe once a week. She likes the Way Detox shampoo, and I have done some research on that and find that it is a very highly recommended and used product. It removes buildup, so it leaves the hair refreshed and clean from any buildup it might have. One other detox shampoo that she recommends is the K18 detox shampoo. It's the same kind of thing. It eliminates the hair buildup and any residue and impurities. All right, she recommends the Pantene Volume and Body shampoo. Adds body to the hair and it's good for regular use. She loves the L'Oreal Bond Repair, the shampoo and the conditioner. It uses citric acid to repair those hair bonds, and she really recommends that highly. She also likes the Garnier Fructis. She does like their shampoo, conditioner. The Dove Intensive Hair Mask is also a really good one for putting on your hair and letting it sit for, like once a week, do that and then rinse that out. It just gives a lot of shine. I use the Dove Intensive Repair. I use the Kerastase or Densifique. I really like those. They make my hair very smooth and I do like how it feels. If you are going to use a conditioner, it's okay to do it, but you want to make sure it's not too heavy. That's why I really like the Kerastase, and I also like that Dove. Getting back to the point of overwashing and underwashing and how that can affect hair growth, the health of your hair and your scalp. Overwashing can dry out the scalp. Underwashing kind of allows buildup on your scalp, so neither is desirable. It's recommended to wash and condition your hair at least twice a week. Probably no more than 3 times a week is fine. Just a few tips for styling. No tight ponytails. I kind of keep mine loose. If you do pull your hair back, don't pull it back really tight. Mix up your hairstyles. I wear it like this a lot. I also, can take it down and mix them up. Sometimes I'll do a middle part, sometimes I'll do a side part, sometimes I'll just put it back in a ponytail. Things like that are helpful, but again, you want to be very gentle with your hair. Use a hair conditioner that you can leave on your hair. I like to hair oil the mid-lengths to the ends of my hair. That's something else that Abby encouraged, and I really enjoy that. Use a towel that is a microfiber towel. One of the things I recently did, I had bought a silk pillowcase a couple of years ago for Christmas, but it just had lost that silky feeling. So I went on Amazon, and I'll put a picture here, and I bought 2 of these pillowcases. I think it was $35. I don't remember, but I'll put it right here. I love them. Not only is it supposed to be really good for your skin, but it's also really good for your hair. It just feels so nice to lay my head on the pillow at night. And then the last thing I'll say is heat styling. You want to be really careful not to use too much heat on your hair. I usually dry my hair, air dry it about 80 to 90% of the way. And then I'll use my blow dryer on a cool shot. And if I want to, I might use a little curl. I did yesterday. You can see there's a little left over. I will use my Lange curler on the kind of the 360 setting and just do each little section. I haven't straightened my hair in a very long time, but I do like the Revlon brush that I turn and it kind of smooths my hair. If you haven't seen it, I do have a hair series, a hair playlist, and it's kind of the products I use on my hair and the different things I do in styling my hair. If that's of interest to you, I'll just put a card up here. My doctor did recommend the Rogaine, which I get from Amazon. I use the men's because they charge more for the women's, and she said it doesn't matter. Like I said, check with your doctor. I don't have any issues with that, and I did consult with my doctor, so I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I am using the Rogaine. I put it in 30 minutes. I run it through my hair on just like I'm parting it. I'm dropping it in, and then I put on little gloves and I kind of massage it into my hair, and I wait 30 minutes, and then I wash my hair and condition my hair. I'm also using the Ordinary peptides on my hair, and I am doing that a couple of times a week at night. I am trying to make sure that it's something I've just started and I don't want to agitate my scalp, so I'm still kind of in the testing phase of that. But it's called the multi-peptide hair density, the multi-peptide serum for hair density. That's what it's called. And it's supposed to communicate with your hair follicles. So we'll see if that works. And then I use a root lifter when I do finally put the air on my hair to dry. I use the It's a 10, and I wash my hair probably every 3 days. So here's the challenge for this video. Please comment below of the things listed in this video. What is the one thing you're gonna try? Or what is one tip you have for the rest of us? Something you've learned that has really been helpful to you, or something you're struggling with that you want to learn more about. I consider myself a very resourceful person, and I really do enjoy getting at the root of the problem. I like exploring for myself and others. I enjoy doing that. So if there's something you want to know, let me know that as well. The bottom line is, hair thinning does not mean you're doing something wrong. I hope this helps you feel more equipped, to better understand what's going on with your hair, and most importantly, that you're not alone in the experience. So coming up next in this series, we are going to talk a little bit about that byproduct of testosterone, the DHT, and the impact that that has on hair thinning and hair loss. If you liked this video, please take a moment and give it a thumbs up. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing it, please share it with them. All of these things really help my channel, and I really appreciate it.